Hey, what is up guys? This is Rich here with Gaming Tech United, and today I want to talk about why Nintendo needs to just shut up. Now, we all know that Nintendo did not have a superb E3 this year. After their Nintendo Direct event and their digital event, people voiced a lot of their disappointment and their anger online, whether it be through Twitter or other social media sites or petitions or message boards. There was just a lot of disappointment and anger about what Nintendo did. Now, while I might not be in the majority of people who are as angry as they were, I can see where they're coming from. And what really caught me off guard is that after these events, usually there is some negativity, but for the most part, the hardcore Nintendo fans still are pretty happy. But what I saw with this is that the hardcore Nintendo fans were really down on this event, and that really caught me off guard. Now, since E3, there has been some comments from Nintendo's big three, that being Reggie, Miyamoto, and Iwata, and I just kind of want to read them to you guys and give you my feedback, because they just don't sit right with me. And I just think that after reading these comments, maybe Nintendo should just go back to the drawing board and just kind of do their thing and just do what makes them great, instead of trying to throw stones in their glass house. So starting off with Reggie, he was talking about VR and AR. So this is what he said. For Nintendo, we always go beyond the tech to make sure the experiences we do are fun and they're social. I think that those are two key opportunities today on the VR AR space. Are they both fun and social? I don't think that's there yet. Now, I will agree with the social part. One thing about VR is that it does isolate you from the real world, and I think that that is something that should be addressed eventually. But where I do deviate so hard with him is this fun part. Now, there are millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people that have played VR and are in love with it. So obviously he's in the minority there. And I know it's his personal opinion, but I just don't think that it's his place to say, you know, VR is not fun, that's why we're not doing it. Well, it obviously is fun, because there's lots of people who love it and fly the banner of it. And if we're gonna jump into the social side, you can't voice chat on Wii U. So maybe we should kind of not throw stones in our glass house right now. Next up, we're going to jump to the Metroid Prime game and what he said about that. What the fans at home saw was something in the Metroid Prime universe that they weren't expecting. The reaction has been negative, there's no sugarcoating it. He then went on to say, this is an example where fans who weren't able to get their hands on the game may be at a bit of a competitive disadvantage. Everyone who's played what we are showing regarding Metroid Prime, they've come across very pleased. All I ask is that fans trust us. Now, this sounds on face value like it's okay, but I don't think he understands that if this game came out in between Metroid games, like Metroid Pinball did, where we're getting a constant steady stream of these Metroid games, fans wouldn't care. But fans for years now have been begging for a new Metroid game, a Wii U Metroid game, and what you give them is a Metroid 3DS game, and I'm sure it's going to be okay, I'm sure it's going to be fun, but this really looks like a game you could have just given a new IP to. You didn't have to strap on the Metroid, license to it and disappoint these fans. And while I'm not a guy who likes Metroid, honestly, I don't really care for it. I didn't grow up playing it, I never got sucked into it. I think that, this is kind of a slap in the face to the fans who have been so loyal to that franchise and have been clamoring for a main title on the Wii U. Now let's move on to Miyamoto. This is what he said regarding Sony and Microsoft. I got the general impression that Sony and Microsoft were showcasing not only the products for this year, but also many for next year or the year after, and because of that, introductions for many of their software titles were done visually, and not with playable demos. Now, he has a point there. Some of the games weren't done with playable demos, but they got the people excited for what the future was. And that's what I don't understand with Nintendo. Yes, you can show games that are coming out now, but show your fans why they should be excited in the next couple of years for what Nintendo does. You have such a rich history and such a rich catalog of IPs and characters, it's okay to show people what's coming up in the future. You know, Horizon's coming out in in a couple of years probably, and people are hyped over that. There's nothing wrong with getting people excited about stuff. You can't just show them, hey, this is coming out this year, and then get angry or throw stones at Sony and Microsoft when they show their fans, hey, you know, these are the games coming out this year, but in a couple years you're going to get these great titles as well. You know, I'm all for saying, hey, this year this is what you can buy, and that's great. That shows you in the short term, but long term, I'm so excited to be a PlayStation 4 owner. People are so excited to be an Xbox One owner. Long term, are people really excited to be a Wii U owner? I don't know that that's there outside of Legend of Zelda. And I don't want to come off negative with this video, but it's like, come on guys, what's wrong with getting your fans excited for the future? There's nothing wrong with that. Now let's finally move on to Iwata. Again, he was talking about E3. One thing I should say about Nintendo's E3 booth is that, unlike other booths in general, most of the visitors to our booth were smiling and actually picking up the controller and playing with our games. So this was one big difference, because a number of the visitors to other booths appear to have spent a lot of time just watching game videos. And again, are you kidding me, Iwata? There's nothing wrong with watching videos of games that are coming out in the future. Do you know how excited people are for the Final Fantasy remake? Do you know how excited people are for Halo 5? Do you know how excited people are for Horizon, for Fallout 4, for Doom? What's wrong with getting people excited? Yes, it's okay that they don't have something tactile to sit down and play. I just don't understand how you can be at this position, I guess, when you're so entrenched in the Nintendo, way of life, I guess. But there was games at those booths that you could play. You can't tell me that people went to Sony's booth, or they went to Xbox's booth, or they went to EA's booth, and there was nothing to play there. And to make it sound like, oh, we're Nintendo, and everyone has fun at our booth, and if you don't do it our way, it's wrong. Well, I cannot understand that. I don't understand that way of thinking. And again, I'm going to go back to my point with Miyamoto. What is wrong with showing the future? You're okay with showing the future. Get people excited to be invested. You spent hundreds of dollars on this machine. Show me why I should be excited. And when I saw Horizon, and I saw Fallout 4, and I saw The Last Guardian, and I saw Halo 5, and I saw all those games, I was excited, and I said, hell yeah, I cannot wait for these next couple years to come, because I'm going to have a blast with this machine, and I am so glad that I invested in this product. And I don't think that Nintendo grasps that idea. So I want to hear what your guys' standpoint on this is, because I don't want to come off negative. I love Nintendo. I love their IPs. They have the best IPs in the world. Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Bowser, Peach, Toad, all those guys are the greatest characters in video games. And when they're done right, it's so much fun to play Nintendo games. But you can't stand there and hate on your competition when your competition is kicking your ass. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, because I don't want to sound like a cynical asshole, but to hear Nintendo talk about their competition like this, like they're doing something wrong when they're outselling you, I will never understand it. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button if you like what you saw. Again, hit the comments. Tell me your thoughts on these quotes. Am I completely wrong? Am I out of my mind? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Again, this is Rich with Gaming Tech United. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.